Does it matter where your piano comes from, the manufacturer's origin? Some say yes, some say no. I say come back and we're going to talk about it. Hi, this is Ted Barsley with Alamo Piano Galleries. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel and also have a look at us online at alamopianogalleries.com, and you can shop our store for a lot of the pianos and a lot of the ones that I'm going to be talking about. And also some of the keyboard videos are also there, and we have most of the time all those on inventory. Today I wanted to focus on something that comes up quite often. And it is, does it matter where your piano was manufactured? Is there a difference? And the difference is going to be reflective in the price. And that's going to talk about, the price is going to be reflected as to which part of the planet your piano is being exported from. And in particular, the ones that come up a lot are the Indonesian and Chinese made pianos. And some of the names that are involved in Indonesia and Chinese manufacturing facilities are the larger names in the piano industry. Some of them are the larger names and still unheard of. Not too many people have heard of the Pearl River Piano Factory in Pearl River, China. Those are Chinese pianos. They also own the Rittmuller brand, and they also own the Schimmel piano manufacturer, of which they have made some brand names or new brand names called Fridolin, and they are all wonderful instruments. And I said once a few years back, and this is certainly getting more and more true, if you are going through the trouble and the time and someone is putting up the investment to open a piano manufacturing facility, you have to make something that essentially is a world-class product, and by that it's used all over the world because it's exported all over the world. And if you haven't played Rittmuller pianos, if you have not played Pearl River pianos, if you have not played some of the entry-line Yamaha grand pianos or some of the entry-line Kawai pianos, I encourage you to do so and compare those amongst themselves, as opposed to, say, something that's exported from Germany or Austria. Even their entry line is going to be a lot more expensive because of the materials and labor cost, and then also the prestige of the brand. And so things that we've heard of, Bluthner, Bosendorfer, Bechsteins, those are all class tier 1 piano manufacturers. And so their exports, yeah, it matters where the manufacturer's origin is, because it can be very, very affordable, like say Chinese or imported Indonesian pianos. Regardless of the manufacturer, I can promise you this, the manufacturer's line, whether it's Yamaha or it's Kawai and others I can think of would be, I believe, like Roland and their digital factories as well. Compare all of their products as if it's coming from one manufacturer, because it is. It doesn't really matter where that manufacturer is located. They may not be making the most prestige and top of the line products in their Indonesia facility, but what they do make are very, very good, consistent with Japanese manufacturing, because if you have to have a Japanese manufactured entry line, it's going to increase the cost of the materials and the labor. So I don't know if we're going to put any sound in here to listen to. We have a number of demos, but I mostly wanted to talk about this because next to each other, for example, here I have a Kawai GL10 and a Kawai GL20, both made in Indonesia. These are phenomenal pianos. When you go, if I had a room full of them and I told someone to go pick out which models of all these Kawais do you think, based on play and feel, were made in Indonesia, most people could not do that. The same would be held true of any kind of Yamaha piano, a Pearl River, or a Rittmuller. And certainly the Fridolins, you would never ever expect that some of the more prestige pianos that are coming out of China and Indonesia are really, really world-class instruments, and not just because they use them all over the place, because they're really affordable, wonderful instruments, and they're a lot better than anything you could have received 20, 30, or 40 years ago. And with that, I'm going to think that's a great place to close. Do not ever discount Chinese origin or Indonesian origin world-class acoustic instruments, because they are designed to be competitive. And it's not just pianos. I can say the same thing for all of the string family, the cellos, the violas, the basses. There are some phenomenal instruments coming out of these places of origin, and they're priced just about, they're world-class competitive. And with that, this is Ted Barsley with Alamo Piano Galleries. If you have any questions or comments or suggestions or recommendations, please list them down there. We love to interact and get a lot of ideas for future videos from there, which is we'll be looking for you next time. Thank you so much.